In this video, we will help you to understand the benefits of tracking inventory and how much easier that can be with Seller Ledger's automated system of item-level inventory tracking. Why track inventory and cost of goods sold? It can help you to know exactly how much money you're making and on what products. It helps you to avoid stockouts, and it can help you to be organized at tax time. Let's dive in to see how it works. On your Seller Ledger dashboard, you'll see a section titled My Inventory on the upper left. The account balance is currently zero because we haven't entered any inventory yet, but you can see that stock sold is $587, as Seller Ledger has already been tracking your sales. You might be wondering what the difference is between the terms inventory and cost of goods sold. Often they're used interchangeably, but technically, the moment when your product sells is when it shifts from being inventory to being cost of goods sold. Click the Inventory tab at the top of the Seller Ledger dashboard. Seller Ledger will ask you to begin by entering your starting inventory balance. In this example, we're going to enter $100 of beginning inventory. The inventory page populates with a beginning balance of $100 in inventory. Purchases and cost of goods sold still show zero, as we haven't entered anything there yet, and our current balance is $100, as that's all the inventory you've told Seller Ledger about. If you click back to the main Seller Ledger dashboard at this point, you'll notice that in the My Inventory section, you can now see a $100 account balance for inventory, in addition to the $587 stock sold. Next, we're going to categorize some purchases made through your connected bank account. Scroll down through your connected accounts on the left to the account you use to make your purchases, in this case, the business credit card. Seller Ledger automatically pulls in your credit card transactions through your connected account and tells you how many uncategorized transactions you have. Click the yellow bar for uncategorized transactions to properly classify them. Now we're viewing your connected business credit card account and its uncategorized transactions. In this example, we purchased items for resale at Goodwill. That's inventory. The bank account shows us that there were 12 transactions with Goodwill totaling $246.90. Check the box for Goodwill and click Categorize. You'll see a drop-down menu with inventory as one of the choices. If you'd like, you can tell Seller Ledger that all future purchases from this vendor should be classified as inventory, as we do in this instance. Now return to the Seller Ledger dashboard, and you'll see that your account balance has changed. Seller Ledger now knows that in addition to your $100 of beginning inventory, you have added $246.90 in inventory purchases. So now you have a total of $346.90 in inventory. Back on the Inventory tab, you can see this too. A beginning balance of $100 in inventory plus $246.90 in inventory purchases for a current balance of $346.90. The most exciting part comes next when you use Seller Ledger's automated capabilities to tie sold items to the inventory purchases you have made. In order to unlock this power, you do need to have a unique SKU for each product you sell, and it has to be the same SKU for that product in both Seller Ledger and eBay. You can check out Seller Ledger's blog post on the custom label SKU field in eBay if you need to know how. Your Inventory tab shows all the purchases you've classified as inventory, and you can click to add details to one of your Goodwill purchases. If you have your receipt from the purchase, that will help you to enter the details. We select the purchase on June 17th for $30.19. Remember that you've given Seller Ledger access to all your sales transactions, so if it's a product you've sold through eBay or Etsy before, you may not even have to type it in. You can just select it through the Find Product option. But if this is a new product you're looking to sell, select New Product, type in the name of the item, the quantity and cost of the item, and its unique SKU. In this instance, we're able to select the product from our sales transactions. This purchase included a 2003 Hess race car. We bought one race car for $15.10. As we enter this amount, you can see that the transaction amount updates on the lower right. We've classified $15.10 of this purchase, but there's another $15.09 still remaining. We'll click to add another product here. The second purchase on this receipt was a 2006 Hess helicopter for $15.09. Now we have finished entering the details for the full $30.19 of this purchase, and we click Save. The Seller Ledger Inventory tab has now updated. At the bottom of our page, we see the June 17th purchase of our 2 items from Goodwill, so inventory went up by $30.19. We see that on June 23rd, the Hess race car sold through eBay, so inventory went down by $15.10. We see that on July 2nd, the Hess helicopter sold through eBay, so inventory went down by $15.09. Lastly, at the top of the page, cost of goods sold went up to $30.19. Remember how at the beginning of this video we explained that products that haven't yet sold are called inventory, and once they've sold, we call it cost of goods sold? That's what's happening here. And because you've now shipped the products off to a customer and they're no longer in your possession, that $30.19 is subtracted from your inventory balance as well. So this number has gone down to $316.71. Now let's go into the sold view within the inventory tab and see how these transactions are reflected there. Seller Ledger has pulled in the items sold in the last 90 days from your eBay store and shows them here. Seller Ledger knows that if you sold them, you likely had inventory for them at some point. We see on June 23rd the eBay sale of the Hess race car, and we see on July 2nd the eBay sale of the Hess helicopter. The total amount of $46.01 includes shipping and sales tax collected. The item total is what you sold the actual item for. The customer paid $22.95 for the item, and the item cost $15.09 to purchase. So now we see that the gross profit on this item was $7.86. Same thing for the Hess race car that sold on June 23rd. The total sale on eBay was $48.19, including shipping and sales tax. The item subtotal was $24.98, the item cost was $15.10, and the gross profit was $9.88. Seller Ledger was able to calculate all of this based on just entering cost information from when the inventory was purchased. We also allow you to enter cost information after the sale using the Add Costs link, but that's for another video. At the end of the year, when it's time to prepare for taxes, your efforts to categorize inventory purchases really pays off for you. Click the Tax tab in Seller Ledger, and again, Seller Ledger has done the work for you. Your cost of goods sold line shows the $30.19 that was classified as cost of goods sold. Remember, this is your Goodwill purchase of the 2 Hess items that we classified as inventory when you bought them, and then Seller Ledger knew to automatically change them to cost of goods sold when they later sold through eBay. There's no need to return to manual spreadsheets and color code items as sold or unsold, as Seller Ledger has done it for you. We've shown you how to get started with Seller Ledger's item-level inventory tracking by entering a starting balance for your inventory and entering a unique SKU for each item when it's purchased. The automated features in Seller Ledger make this as easy as possible by pulling in information from your connected accounts and automatically managing all the changes to your inventory as items sell throughout the year. At the end of the year, your tax report in Seller Ledger will automatically populate with all the information you need. All you have to do is when your inventory purchases show up, categorize them as such with the cost details from your receipt, and Seller Ledger takes care of the rest. For additional Seller Ledger videos on inventory management, including for sellers who don't want to track costs at the item level, be sure to check out the Seller Ledger channel on YouTube.